Hey everybody, it is Murph from server 962. Just going to make a little profession video for season 2 for the engineer profession specifically. I've never been a warlord because I am still doing all the things, research and building. Um, First off, I want to apologize for my last little video on the drone chips. If you guys haven't seen that, I kind of created an updated video on the skill chips for the drone, but I didn't have my mic with me. But still a lot of good information in there, but some of the vital points I had my finger over the mic there, so I apologize for that. But we are going to hop into the season 2 profession tree for the engineer specifically. Okay, so after season 1, your cap level for your profession is at level 40. So once season 2 starts for you, the cap then gets increased to level 70. Okay. So let's kind of just dig into the tree, things that you should definitely focus on, what skills inside the profession tree that you almost have to have, and kind of why. Okay. So as you know from season 1, all the season 1, the green side per se, the season specific buffs or skills are no longer there. Now they've kind of updated them to the season 2. So we will just going to start with this right side of the tree first. Obviously, it does get unlocked incrementally, but for most people, you'll have up to level 40 already ready for you to start unlocking. But you need more skill points, so you have to level up that skill, your engineer level or your professional level as high as you can, as fast as you can. So once season 1 or season 2 starts, guys, the first things that I would be putting my points into, and I would honestly even respec your profession tree to get some of these unlocked pretty early so you get as much XP as fast as you can, because the goal is to get to level 70 as fast as possible. As you can see, I'm level 69. Nice. But I'm almost to level 70. I should be level 70 tonight after I upgrade one of my season buildings some more. So what I would do for when season 2 starts for you guys is I would literally come in here. I would not change your thing, but I would respec. So I would use one of these books right here, profession reset, skill reset books, and I would literally go in and start adjusting some of the ones that you may not need right away, that you've been using, previously. And I'll kind of get into which ones are more important. But literally day 1, guys, I would respec to get at least this bottom one here to 3 out of 3. This building one is huge, to 3 out of 3. Getting this double exchange up as fast as you possibly can. This is going to help, especially at the very beginning of the season, whenever you have all this coal but no titanium. And then I would get into his professional insights, getting this maxed out as you can. So this right here gives you, you can use it once per day pretty much, and it gives you 10% of your current level's XP, up to 100,000 with a cooldown of a day. So that's great. Once you get that maxed out, you can use that to get 100,000 XP almost every single day. It's awesome. And then even up to this intense overdrive at the very beginning of the season. The temperatures don't get that cold, so it's not as important. But it is helpful whenever you start getting into soil wars and so on and so forth. But I recommend, first things first, as I said earlier, this is all about the engineer profession. But some of you guys might be a warlord, and let me kind of just tell you the difference here, guys. I personally think that unless you are a whale or just a very PvP focused person that has really high squads, I'm saying you need to probably be having some squads up close to almost 40 million in power. If you are not that, you should probably be engineer, because engineer is going to help you get your profession level up faster. It's going to help make all of your research and your buildings cheaper and quicker. It's going to give you more resources. It gives you, of course, the cooperative research and the cooperative construction. There's just a lot of things in here that I honestly never thought that I was going to use, but my mind was changed. So let's kind of start here from the bottom. I think that these ones right here, these bottom 3 right here, are an easy gimme. You should get this extra meal for the free stamina, extra 50% stamina every single day, the 5 out of 5 rapid production. This is just pivotal, especially if you're pushing for T10s. And of course, the contribution. This one's not as much as you don't need this one as much, but it's still important, right, to get the ×2 on the alliance contribution points earned. Next, level 10. As you can see here, when I started the season off, I had both of these 5 out of 5. Really, for this one here, it just increases your free speed up time for construction. For me, I don't have this much construction left. Once you get to HQ 30 and you've been there for a little while, there's not like this free time for the 5 skill points to give me a couple more hours of free speed ups. It's not that important to me. I still am doing anything I can to get the research time down though, so I still have the research in there out of 5 out of 5. Now for this level, 15 is one of the most important levels, research now and build now. I still have those 5 out of 5. It is very, very important. It takes like 20 hours for the research. It takes 20 hours off for both of your research centers if you have both. And that's really, really important. You can use this every 2 days. So that's a must. That's very high on my list. The building one, again, if you're pretty far until the build and you don't have much builds left, but if you're pushing for T10 or you're like HQ 28, 29, you're going to 30, you want this 100% to help with those build times. It's only 6 hours, but it's if you have all 4 builders, it's 6 hours for each of your builds, and that's very nice. And you get that every 2 days as well. For 20, I don't think it's that important. I think this is honestly maybe the siege banner, but you only need to really have a couple people in your alliance that have the siege banner. But really, all it does is that you can drop it on a tile, and of course, you can increases the durability for up to 30 minutes, which is nice for like when you're running. I personally, I don't really think it's that important. I don't think it's noticeable enough, but I guess every little bit helps, and it doesn't stack if you put multiples on top of each other. I would just personally skip it myself. 25, friendly aid. It's just not that important. If you're having to garrison people over and over again, and people are dying, that person just needs to learn how to shield, or at that point. But it could help if you're getting to the missile perspective, but I just don't think it's that important. I don't think it's worth the 5 skill points. Siege inspiration. This could be good, at the beginning of the season. I would honestly probably recommend doing this at the beginning of the season. I actually didn't, and I'm kind of maybe beating myself in the butt for not getting it. But once you guys start taking the dig sites per se and the cities, you do start doing a lot of durability damage. You have to break the ice and so on and so forth. So this right here definitely could help you. But this is something that once you guys get to the level 6 cities and dig sites, you want to take it away because it's no longer needed. It's no longer helpful. 30. Wow, this one right here, these two, obviously, these are must-haves. You have to have these construction and research co-ops. These are just super important. Why not take the extra 20% on every single build and every single construction that you do? This firebomb. Now, this right here is important. I think this is going to be vital for some of you guys at the beginning of the season. It also helps uncover some scattered supplies. I didn't do a lot of the whole scattered supplies this season, but you'll start seeing them. Pretty much you can drop these firebombs and you can uncover in these frozen areas that have these scattered supplies where you can send your scout planes over and get some free stuff. It's pretty neat, but I was never online for those. They always happen in the middle of the night. I already mentioned the profession insights. You need that 5 out of 5 until you get your profession up to level 70, and then you can respec, take them all out, put them in other places. Now these ones right here, 35. This is you need 5 out of 5 on both 100%. After you get it to 5 out of 5 for each, you get a 5% reduction in cost for tech research. It gets so expensive, guys. And then of course the same for building construction. It's just needed. This one right here, you may not need to use at the beginning of the season, like I mentioned earlier, but it would be good kind of mid-season or a couple weeks in. Having that extra 6% is nice, especially whenever it gets really cold out. If you don't have a very organized alliance that can keep everyone inside of the furnace warming space, but it also helps just if you're doing code hits or something like that, you don't have a very active alliance, people to warm you up. Every degree matters per se. Now, on level 40, I will say I kind of ate my words. I thought that this skill was a complete waste of points, and being towards the end of Soil Wars right now for me in season 2, Guys, this is probably one of the most important skills in the tree, personally. What this does is that it increases, once you get it to 5 out of 5, it increases your hospital's capacity by 50% for both you and a selected ally for 240 minutes with a pretty much a 3-day cooldown. So guys, what this is why is the 3-day cooldown is because you should just be using this during your soil wars, or whenever at the beginning of the season when you guys are taking those cities and you just have mass troop casualties because you don't have enough resistance and you're doing what you can to take the cities and dig sites as fast as possible. But for example, Roger, the whale in our alliance, he's got 10,000 hospital capacity, but whenever I give this to him, it takes him up to from 10,000 up to 15,000, and that's very, very pivotal, especially if you're on war days, on soil wars. Whenever you're garrisoning people over and over again, you're doing a lot of fighting. You don't have enough time to heal as fast, or it's just you just have so many troops dying. Because once your hospitals fill up, everyone else just dies. You no longer have any more capacity. So having that extra 3, 4, 5,000 capacity can help really save a lot of your troops and maintain your troop count, so you don't have empty drill grounds and you're having to spend tons of speed ups to upgrade to get them back and ready for the next fight, because these fights are every 3 days. So next is the Buddy Shield. I kind of have mixed feelings on this guy. For me, we're in a very active alliance. If you're in a smaller alliance, this might be something more for you. Or if it's at reset on these battle days for Soil Wars, especially Buster Day, it's a good thing to have, to be able to bubble one of your friends for a short amount of time. I have it just in case we have someone that's like right next to the furnace during Soil Wars that's not online. We don't want them to get ashed. I can use it just to throw it on them for an hour. But for the 3 hours, I don't think it's worth all 3 of those. Gather for warmth, and you have to have this one right here to continue to move up on the right side. I'll get into that later. So you kind of just have to put the 1 in there. For fearless defense, I just don't think this is that important either, to be honest. But it's Buddy here, the drone supply. This is money. So once you get this to 5 out of 5, I think you get, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, I know for sure you get 3 of the green skill chip chest every single day. And then you get, I can't remember everything that you get out of it, but you get 3 skill chip chests. I think you get 3 of the level 1 drone components, and then maybe some drone parts. I think you get some drone parts as well. So that's nice. Get that to 5 out of 5 for sure. Durability mine. This is a stupid skill. Don't waste your time on that. Random visitors. I could see the skill on this, but you have a 5-day cooldown on this. I have an abundance of these survivors, so I'm not really worried. This might be something that I do at the end of the season once I get to level 70, but for now, it's just not that important to me. Now we're getting over here to 55 and up, so this is going to be maybe a week or so into your season 1 to where you're getting up into this area. This frost bomb I think is very, very important. Dropping this gives you a 9x9 tile space to reduce their temperature by 20 degrees. So this right here, you could drop this on somebody and they could literally freeze very, very quickly. So this is important during soil wars, and just keeping them down, because the lower their temperature is, the worse their morale is, more of their troops get killed, and it just makes your opponent weaker. So that's pretty nice. These 2 here, I don't know. I don't think that this one right here for the time helped is that important. I don't think it could help out, but I think, again, this is something more. Once you got to level 70, if you want to place points into here, I think that's good. This one right here is going to be more for helping you actually get more opportunity for your dog, right? So this right here is saying the daily task points chest has a 5% chance to double your rewards. Of course, as you level that up, I think it gets up to like 25% or so. And what that really means, guys, is it's for these daily tasks. So the big thing here is that this right here could help you with getting more food for your dog. And so if one of these doubles, it helps you to be able to feed your dog more than once in a day, or maybe even gives you an extra feed. Because sometimes you can feed the dog twice a day because you get 5 components for the food. And then whenever you do feed them correctly, you get the 650,000 coal. You get the universal skill, universal weapon shard, and then some chest, so on and so forth. So that could help you out there. But again, I don't think that that's really that important right now. Back to it here. So next, I think this one's very important here. This first aid expert, when defeated, your proportion entering the emergency, you get, so pretty much you get an extra 5% to your emergency center. Again, you're going to lose so many troops, guys. It is very important that you do whatever you can to be able to save as many of them as you can. This is just going to send an extra 5% to the emergency center rather than killing them. Gathering speed, I mean, I think gathering is pretty wasteful, to be honest. I mean, it's obviously important on Sunday VS, on the first day of VS, but guys, like, gathering is a scam. The way I see it, you have to send squads out for 8 hours and they bring you back like 100,000 mats. Like, that's nothing. I mean, I have researches that cost 600 million gold. Me getting an extra 100,000 gold is never going to help me. It's not enough to move the needle. And then you get up into the level, into these mines, these frost mines and things like that. These could be used tactically. The good thing here is that you can place these on the ground around your hive, and maybe into like an open spot. If someone leaves, unfortunately, and there's nothing else you can really do, you can place one of these mines down inside your hive, or I would recommend actually on the outside of the hive. And you're able to, if they land on it, you're able to freeze them, per se. So it lowers their temperature by 5%, I think, or by 5 degrees. I think once you get up more, I think it takes it up to 15 degrees. It can lower them, and you can store up to 3 of them. It takes a couple days to acquire all 3, but once you play it, they can land on it. It triggers, it lowers the base by the certain percentage, and then it freezes it instantly. So that's awesome. Rather than the frost bomb, it can still take up to 5 minutes for them to drop all the way down to be able to freeze. So this is an instant freeze. So someone has to come heat them up and break the ice. Now, once you get up here into the 65s, there's battlefield cleanup here. Again, I mean, an extra 2% coin, food, and iron. I'm killing zombies and doom elites. I don't think it's worth it. If it was for goldies, that'd be another thing. But nothing buffs goldies, unfortunately. But this could technically go good with like Monica now that she's fixed. That could be like a good little piece to pair with her. But again, you don't really get enough resources out of those for me to really care. And then I'm actually putting these up into the master builder, so it's increasing your building speed. This is something that I'm going to max out. So I think this for me is a good one. And then up at the top, you have instant gathering. I can see where this one right here could be nice. Because like I said, gathering kind of sucks, is you get to spend all that time out there gathering. This would be a good one to use on Sunday VS Day. So whenever you use all squads that are currently gathering at iron mines, farmlands, or gold mines will immediately collect the remaining resources from the resource tile in return. Cannot exceed the squad's load capacity. Cooldown is 119.5 hours. Only usable in your home war zone. Once you get that maxed out, I don't know what it goes up to, but or what the extra benefits would be out of that. But that right there would be really good on Sunday if you're trying to get some VS points. You can send all your squads out to your resources tiles and then just use it instantly and then get it right away. Right. So the way I would envision it is that you can actually have your team already out farming the night before or the day before reset happens, and time it out to where all of your squads are gathering and all the gatherers come back right at reset. So you get all those points. You can send them out again one more time right at reset, use this skill, bring them all back in, get more VS points that way. And then monster tracking, marching speed against monsters, completely useless. I don't think that's important at all. Now, what I would do kind of after, guys, is once you get up to level 70, then you need to go back through and don't waste your skill points here, because once you're at level 70, you no longer need any of these experience boosts because you have max experience. Now, of course, technically, you could continue to do that and continue to level up these buildings. And, once you get the buildings done, though, you pretty much, this is completely useless once you have all the buildings leveled all the way up. And you could just continue to stack XP for the next season. But for me, I would probably put it into more of these other skills that I went through earlier, to, focus on your upgrades for your buildings and your research and so on and so forth, guys. But that's really it for the profession skill itself, guys. If you have any other questions on kind of what that looks like, but I'm telling you guys, the biggest ones that you really need to focus on at the beginning of the season is getting these bottom two skills on the right here. These are very, very important. I would say also, if you get to it, this one right here as well at the very beginning of the season while you're doing all the city captures and dig sites. But season 2 has been a blast. We're almost at the end of the Soil Wars. I've learned a ton, but I'm looking forward to, Age of Oil and getting that new tech center and going on from there. But if you guys have any other questions, feel free to message me or leave a comment, like, subscribe, tell your friends, drop it in your Discord servers. Anything and everything helps for me. I appreciate you all, and I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.